Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm back. It's been a little while since I've had a show, and I think it's what been 3 weeks, a month, somewhere around there. I think somewhere around there. So, but we have a great show. I have Rootless Destinations today. So I think it was about 6 months ago, 7 months ago. I think Melissa reached out to me and asked me, when are we going to be back on Through the Lens? And I said, very, very soon. And I'm glad to have them back on today. And we'll definitely be talking to them. And if you haven't met them before, well, you're going to get to meet them today. And we're definitely going to be talking about a number of things. And sorry, guys, I'm just getting over a sickness. I was sick most of the week. I think a lot of it had to do with there was so much going on during the global ghost hunt. I also got a new gig for a new part for a TV show, so I was doing that, going through the scripts, and then I had to do two self tapes and for a possible feature film that I'm up for. So there was a lot going on, and then on top of that, the global ghost hunt and with all the investigations. So I think I wasn't getting a lot of sleep, so I think I got a little bit burnt out and that's why I think I got sick. But who knows? Uh, I don't really go out a lot, so I don't think I caught it from anyone. But you never know. But yeah, so we have Rootless Destinations on now. People are going to say, "Well, Lex isn't here, and Lex hasn't been here for a while." I keep on playing that intro. The reason I keep on playing that intro because I think Lex is going to eventually come back. So I don't want to stop playing that intro. When I get the word that he's definitely not coming back, then I'll stop playing the intro. But for now, I'm going to continue playing the intro. And thank you very much. Unfortunately, I don't see your name. So it said, cool, congrats. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I'm not seeing your name. There are quite a few people in the room. I want to say hi to Liz. I want to say hi to Nerdwitch and another Facebook user. Thank you for sharing that out. And so, yeah, we're going to have a great show. Now, regarding the global ghost hunt, it was great. Global ghost hunt was a huge success, and for all the teams that were a part of it, I on the closing ceremonies, I really didn't get into the numbers because I didn't really have the numbers yet. But I don't have all the numbers. I'm waiting. I was going to wait till the end of this week to really tally those numbers because there's still a lot of people watching over on YouTube, especially. But I will say this: our numbers are around 45 to around 45 to 40 to 45% more than May's event. So we definitely increased. One particular page, I will say YouTube, did extremely well. We were back in May, we did about 96 with the views, the reaches, the impressions, and all those things. For October's event, we were just a little over 148. So 148,000. So we did extremely well just on the YouTube side of things. Now, the great thing with YouTube, somewhere down the road, like I would say in the next month or so, for some reason, those videos start picking up. They start getting more views. So, and that's a great thing about the Global Ghost Hunt is that you can continue watching those videos, especially if you missed anything during the event. So definitely go over and watch the replays. If you can share them, that would be terrific. I know there's people in the room today that definitely shared out those videos, but we're definitely increasing. We're definitely growing. We definitely got new things coming out for the April-May event. And I will let people know, and I've said this before, April and May, it will start April 25th to May 5th. So it's going to be a little bit earlier. The reason we're doing that is because the Tombstone Paracon that we're working with, their Paracon next year starts on the 26th, 27th, and 28th. So, and I will be there. I think there might be a few other people from Global Ghost Hunt that will be there as well. But yeah, definitely looking forward to next year. It's going to be like I'm not one to predict, and I never like to predict things because you know what, you know the old cliche, right? If you predict, it doesn't happen. But I try not to do that. But I'm telling people right now that are interested in the global ghost hunt, next year is going to be big. One of the main reasons, there's a team that's going to be joining me. If you don't know this already, there's a team joining me. They're called GTI, which is basically Ghost Trip Investigations. They're out of the UK. They're very, very big in the Europe market, I guess. They're starting to get a little bit of wind over here, but I think it's mostly the UK stuff. But they have a crap. I think they have close to 4 to 5 million followers. So they will be promoting it out, and that's what they've said they're going to do. So I'm telling people next year's event is going to be bigger. And there is something coming out soon, and it has something to do with these two ladies that are coming up today. But we'll announce that later on down the road. Rootless Destination, Melissa and Heidi. They had a wonderful investigation. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. We're going to talk about them. It's been a while since they've been on the show, so we're going to catch up with them. And so that's about it. So without further ado, thank you, Liz. I appreciate that. You were a big help. You were there. You were sharing out as well. So everybody that shared out, I really, really appreciate that. It means a lot to the no, I can't spit it out right now, Rosanna. I can't do that. There's got to be some anticipation. So but there will be an announcement when we have the next GGH, which I believe is going to be in a couple of weeks. Because there's going to be other things that we're going to be announcing for the April-May event that people are waiting for and know about, or some teams. So we're definitely going to be talking about that as well on the GGH Live. So, but without further ado, I am going to bring up Melissa and Heidi from Rootless Destinations. And here they are. Oh, can't hear you. Or is it me?
Yep. All right. Hey,
guys. You were on mute. It's funny. I got this new chair, and
that's what it is.
I got this new chair, and like the last chair I had just broke. It broke. It like solid plastic, and it broke. But I had to get a new chair, and I keep on sliding down.
That's what it is. So Melissa actually said, does it look like he's rocking back and forth a lot? I think he got a new chair, maybe. I don't know. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so I did get a new chair. It's very comfortable, but unfortunately I slide.
Oh. So. Well, don't wear slick clothes.
That's right.
Well, if anybody should know, I'm not wearing anything below this.
Good job.
I'm just kidding. I'm wearing pants. I took out my dog before I came up, but I want to thank you, ladies, for coming up today. It's been a while. It
has been a bit.
Yes.
I looked back at it last week, and I can't remember the date now when you were on the show last. It was 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago. Yeah.
No way.
It was 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe it was the 10th or 11th show that we did, me and Lex.
Wow.
But it was 2 years ago, and I went, holy crap, that's a long time ago.
That is a long time.
And time has flown by really, really quickly. Now, I just want to make sure Nerdwish showed, oh, wow. Now, is that, oh, wow, the 2 years, or the, oh, wow, that I'm not wearing pants?
Yeah. Yes.
And Suzette just came in the room for CMPS. Thank you for stopping by today. We appreciate that. And you guys, let me start off by saying this. If people haven't seen their live investigation, you have to go watch it. We are going to be showing a little clip. Oh, okay. She was talking about wearing the pants. So we're going to be showing a clip today from their investigation that I thought was pretty fascinating. Now, the thing is, when we were there at the live, you could really hear it, but it's a little more difficult to hear it during the recording.
Yeah, you need the headphones on.
So you will need the headphones on, but or just turn up your phone or your laptop from wherever you're watching this from. So there was a particular moment during your investigation where it sounded like there was a loud door that slammed. And
I agree.
now the great thing is that, you know, you could say, oh, well, maybe it was somebody else in another room between the four of you, but all four of you were standing in the same room because you were doing a voice recorder.
Correct.
At that particular moment. So that was really cool. So we're going to show that today. But let's start off with the normal questions. Love for you to introduce yourself, and for each of you, tell us your origin story, how you got into the paranormal.
Okay. I'm Melissa, and this is my best friend. We've known each other for like 30 plus years.
Ride or die right here.
So, and paranormal came to me at a very young age. I was about 3 is the first very vivid experience that I had. And then throughout my life, it seemed as if everywhere I lived, it was haunted. But then as I grew older, it wasn't that way. So basically, it just came to me, and it's very, it's always been very interesting to go out and investigate and just see what it is attracted to you and what type of communication you can get just to learn more about it. I mean, so many questions that we all have. Is this where we're going to go whenever we really die? Or are these people really trapped between two worlds, you know, or do they choose to stay here? And right now, from many, many years of doing this, I seem to think that it's probably mostly our choice.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
You believe that people stay or that spirits stay earthbound and it's their choice?
Well, you know, some may have some unfinished business.
Yeah.
Or it was such a tragedy they don't even know they're dead. I'm just saying, at this point in time, there's just so many questions that we have.
Yeah.
And I think it's very cool.
What are your thoughts on because they weren't very nice people? They were like I think there's many reasons why they stay earthbound, but do you think there's a possibility because they were, for lack of a better word, a jackass and weren't very nice in life, and that's why they stay earthbound?
Do they stay earthbound because they don't want to face what's coming to them? Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Heidi, what about? Yeah, and you know, it's interesting because I'm also a true believer in the way you were in life is the way you're going to be in afterlife. So if you were a jerk, you did all kinds of nasty things in your life, that's the way you're going to be in spirit life. Those are my feelings on that. And I think a lot of times I believe in I truly believe in the tragedy. Their life ended in a tragic way.
Right.
I did an investigation on a place called Ghost Road, and apparently this guy was riding a motorcycle, and he took a turn too sharply and crashed his motorcycle, hit a barbed wire fence, and unfortunately his sorry folks, unfortunately his head was taken right off from the barbed wire fence. Yeah. And apparently the reason why the rock is haunted, because, and this is gross, I'm sorry, I'm being a little bit graphic here, his head bounced off the rock.
Wow.
Okay.
So now what's interesting is when I go there, I always capture something very, very interesting. For example, I was there with my buddy. We were doing a spirit box. He put his flashlight down on the ground, and when he looked over to his flashlight was on. He didn't turn it on. And it's one of those flashlights where it's very difficult to turn on. You really have to push the button
Right.
So I asked the question, did you turn on the flashlight? And right through the SB7, it said, sure did.
Aw.
That's cool.
So, but now the interesting thing about this is we think there's multiple spirits there because what happens at a certain time at nighttime, there almost looks like there's a motorcycle coming down the road and you can see the one headlight and then it disappears.
That's cool.
That is really cool.
So
Did you see
that is
that?
definitely residual because
Yeah,
apparently
but
it
it's
happens
so cool.
every single night.
Have you seen it?
I haven't personally seen it, but I know other people that have.
Yeah.
And it's like the light's coming down, you're actually watching the light come down the road, and then boom, it disappears. Now, is that the moment where he crashed?
Right.
Possible.
I would
It's
think
possible.
Yeah.
It's different.
Wow.
It's different. And what about yourself, Heidi? How did you get into the paranormal?
You know, it's kind of the same way. I've had experiences my whole life. I remember at three and a half, I had an experience with my sister. And I've always really been open to something like that because, like Melissa said, there's so much that's unknown. So I feel that there's definitely something after this because I don't think that this would be the end and we're energy and we go on. So I feel that there's a reason that things move on. I feel that there's a reason that certain people are chosen to receive certain messages. And I'm just, I'm fortunate enough to be able to listen to the best of my ability, and have had experiences my whole life. She and I together have experiences almost everywhere we go, and have since we first met. So this is, I don't know if it's the two superpowers colliding, but it's become more intense since we've been together. And as we're getting older, it seems to be even more intense, at least from my point of view.
Well, it's more of a connection.
It is. I think that's exactly what it is.
And I think that's what really connected made Heidi and I closer.
Right.
We had it was like a month span of weird paranormal things going on at one another's home.
Yes.
Interesting.
And then once we figured out, and especially when weird thing happened with our car and our keys, and the locksmith who came was a Native American. And as soon as he walked up to us, he was like, "What's going on?" And we were like, "What are you talking about?"
Car broke down. We lost our keys. We locked ourselves out of the other keys. I mean, it was a nightmare.
It was just, so there's really cool things that happen in your life that connect you and
pay attention.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I definitely, when I started doing paranormal investigations, I think one thing that really woke me up, and I'm sure it has with you both, is your surroundings.
Absolutely.
You're more aware of your surroundings and what's going on with your surroundings. Like I always say that, and I always think this is really funny. With paranormal investigators, we run towards the noises and other people run away from them, so
exactly.
And like obviously I've known you girls for I think it's going on 3 years now. And you both have done a lot of investigation. If you could pick out one, maybe one or two investigations that really had some compelling evidence that really stand out in your mind when you're sitting back and thinking, we've done so many investigations, what really stands out? So Heidi, you can go first on this one. What is the most compelling evidence that you've captured, or what's really stands out in your mind when you're thinking about all your investigations you did in the past several years?
Well, to be honest with you, I actually have two answers for that, because the most amazing thing that ever happened to us was before recorders, when we first started hanging out. We had a gentleman, really nice guy, but kind of a bad drunk, and kind of the guy you should stay away from. And he ended up coming into Melissa's apartment at the time, and he went to hug Melissa, and he hugged Melissa, and he came to hug me, and a coffee mug flew across the counter and smashed into the wall in like hundreds of pieces. Wow. And we were both like, okay. And I said, I don't think you're supposed to hug me. He was like, okay, what was that about? I said, I don't know, but I don't think you're supposed to hug me.
Yeah, she was very adamant about
don't touch me. And oddly enough, it wasn't too long after that, we literally never saw the guy again, and he lived in the same apartment complex. So that was a little bit weird. As far as the most intense one that we've done together would be the one on Scary Road.
But it wasn't, he said evidence.
Evidence. Well, evidence.
Because of that experience, we don't have any evidence.
I think the best evidence we had was the second time we went to Presidio La Bahia, and the guy talked to us directly when we said, our batteries keep dying, we need to charge them more, and you can hear him say, charge more. And it was very distinct and very distinct. And we didn't hear it at the time, we heard it later on, but that really freaked us out a little bit because it was directly related to what we were talking about. So that was kind of cool.
That was very cool. Very clear.
Very clear.
Interesting. And is there anything that stands out for you, Melissa?
To be honest with you, we had a investigation, maybe 6 months ago, maybe a year ago. Hell, I don't know. And we went to an abandoned nursing home. Not expecting it to really have this type of effect on us, but Heidi and I were sick at one point. I mean, nauseous, sick. We were both like leaning against the wall, and we were very sick in there. And you always felt like someone was on your back. And when you would turn, of course, you didn't see anything.
Right.
And at one point, you could actually hear, because the whole floor was nothing but it may have been freaking asbestos as far as I know.
We don't know.
That tile was coming up off the floor. This place was old. And you could hear something walk
like
behind
crunching on the ground behind us. Yeah.
And we caught an apparition, and that is in the video.
It's cool. I'm telling you, I'm telling people in the room that if you have not gone over and to their YouTube channel and watch some of their videos, you need to. I've always respected the both of you so much because of your honesty and because of your natural way of doing investigations.
Thank you so much.
You know, it's like you could see the friendship between the two of you like instantly. You know what I mean? And I truly believe this, that you two generate so much energy, and I think that's why you guys are able to do what you do when it comes to the spirits. And obviously you had a great investigation at Presidio, and you got some action off your K2, your REM pod. You got that slamming of the door. And I found it really interesting that it only wanted to deal with that, and that was it. It wanted nothing. It didn't want anything to do with you guys. It just wanted to deal with the equipment. So I have a question up here from Suzette. Do you think people's spirits that were not nice in life can change?
Well, I have two answers for that too. Ta-da! First of all, years ago, I went to see a group thing with John Edwards, the medium John Edwards. And I was chosen to ask a question. And my question was, are people, if they're assholes here, are they assholes there? And he said, actually, their true light shines when they cross over, even if they're still earthbound. So that's his answer. My personal answer is I would like to believe that people get to be their true wholesome self. But some people are really just jerks, and I think that that's going to carry over into the next life, the spirit life, whatever you'd like to call that.
Yeah. So. And Melissa?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know if a person would change. There's a reason why they're here, and that's the reason. That's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to see. If they're upset because their child died and they can't find this child, that's all they're set on.
Right.
I don't particularly think that you're here to try to start a new life, stuck in between to start a new life. So, no, I don't think they could change.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about it, to be honest. And because, we always hear before somebody passes away, do you want to do you want to what's the word? Do you want to talk about your sins? Do you want to
Confess
what's
your
that word?
sins.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering if that in some way helps before they pass away. I don't know.
Well, I
I
mean, if
always
they move on, we're talking
yeah.
about spirits that haven't moved on.
Yeah.
So,
You're right. You're right. And it's just it was a great question, Suzette. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think that's interesting. Okay. I don't know who you are, but I'm going to put your comment up. I think that's like asking if people are alive change. So do lots don't. So interesting. So I wanted to, and normally I don't ask this question because you guys have done a lot of videos. And I don't think I need to ask this question, but I'm going to ask this question because I think it's important for people that are not going through the editing and doing all those things. So, how do you approach? My question to you is, how do you approach the debunking? What do you do when you're doing your videos? Like, if you hear something, if it's maybe contamination from outside noise, or when
we'll
you
call it
edit
out.
videos. Yeah. So
Honestly, our motto is disprove before prove.
Yeah. So we'll call it out right there. We'll go, wait a minute.
Hold on, let's see if we can figure out what that was. And if it is, we'll gladly say a tree limb fell on the car. That's what the noise you heard. Because we don't want, we're not full of crap. And we don't want people to think that we're jumping to conclusions all the time.
Yeah.
So if we can say this was not paranormal and let you know that, that also helps us as far as our credibility and our trueness. So
let me tell you something that just made me think of this. So Heidi and I did an investigation with the team, and it basically was just an abandoned building. Okay. I didn't get much evidence at all. Didn't have really much of an experience. Heidi kind of did, and then I did like at the end, but I think it was the same person that we were seeing.
Right.
So they were talking about when they investigated in this location before, and I was saying, well, the ceiling's fallen in, so it's a possibility that, or
because they said they were hit with stuff,
or they were hit with stuff. And so, not to be, I don't want to upset anyone, but just kind of answers your question. I'll ask questions and go, well, I don't know if I can call that paranormal.
Yeah. So what do you do when it comes to your videos? How do you debunk something in your videos so people know?
Well, actually, you say that. I was talking to Heidi when we were backstage about a piece that I was listening to. I had set a camera underneath an oak tree, and it was the only camera underneath the tree. And I said, I keep hearing like either somebody's walking on the ground or somebody's dropping something from a tree. Like, is it a squirrel up there eating nuts? And I'm hearing the shell on the ground, and it's you can hear it every now and then. And I'm like, what is this? And Heidi said she saw a vulture earlier in the tree.
Oh, interesting.
So it could have been a vulture, because there's literally like a whole bunch of trees on the other side of Presidio La Bahia, and they are everywhere. Hundreds of them.
It's their nesting ground right behind it.
So that's really cool. So they come over and fly over all the time. They land on the church. So I had seen one and naturally thought that was it. It could have been a squirrel.
It could have been a squirrel. I don't know what it was.
I don't think it was paranormal at all.
I don't either. At first I was like, oh my God, what's walking in the background? Somebody's walking. You can hear the twigs crackling. But then it happens too often. I'm like, no, what the hell is in that tree?
Living in the tree.
So, and it is hard when you're listening and looking and editing, because Heidi and I don't have, very, very rare do we have 1 or 2 cameras with us. That is rare.
Yes.
We usually have anywhere between 5 to 7 cameras.
Easily.
So you really do have to take your time and listen to it and just kind of listen to the surroundings and know when you're there.
And in all honesty, she does 99% of that. She's very good at what she does, and I kind of let her take the reins with that because she is good at what she does. So anything that she ever questions at any time, we always talk about, and of course I always look at the footage and all that stuff, but she does most of that. And she's also really good at saying, I thought I heard something, girl, but I think it's crap. Listen to what I'm listening to. So again, disprove before proof. I want to be able to say, I know, I feel it, and not just go, well, maybe it was an acorn, maybe it wasn't. I'm going to say somebody was walking behind me.
And I'm going to be honest and say we didn't really catch anything in this video, guys, but cool location, so we're going to share it with you.
Yeah.
How important do you think that is? Even like, and I've asked this question to other investigators, how important do you think it is to put up videos where you haven't captured anything?
Well, I mean, I think it's important because let's be realistic here. If you think just because the location is haunted, you're going to get any type of evidence or experiences, come on.
It doesn't always work.
It doesn't
that
happen
way.
like that.
Yeah.
We've gone to multiple locations.
Yeah.
Just like Presidio La Bahia. We've been there 3 times.
Yeah.
The second time was just amazing.
Yeah, the second time was ridiculous.
It was
evidence. It was all over the place.
But the first time, not so much.
No.
And then during Global Ghost Hunt, a little bit. I'm still going through stuff. Like I said, I had 6 cameras.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's, yeah.
Yeah, it's you know, it's funny, and I told you this, Melissa, when I think it was after we spoke, after you did your investigation, when you look at that place, when you look at the Presidio, it's like absolutely huge. Like it's
the
a
yard
huge
is
place.
huge, spread out.
But when you guys were doing your investigation, it seemed like the rooms inside were very compact.
The rooms inside are small.
Yeah.
It's just 2 little bedrooms, a bathroom. You saw it, a little living room,
area,
like a little cottage kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it was just for the clergymen or officers in the army.
Right.
Yeah. And I can't recall if you said this behind stage or like backstage before we went live, or you said it during your live. Now, there was something funny that happened the next morning, and you were going to take some pictures. You wanted to go to the church. Tell the people what happened the next morning. Now, before you say that, if you didn't watch the video, first of all, you got to go watch the video. So, but the second thing is, these ladies, like they did at the Claiborne house.
Oh, that was such a great one.
They came as dressed the part. So they were actually dressed as 2 nuns during this whole investigation. And I do commend you for wearing those outfits the whole entire 2 hours.
Dude, that was really difficult. I want you to know, not an easy task at all.
I was thinking that, like, me and Matt even spoke about that after and said, God, they were in those outfits for the whole 2 hours. That must have been hell. But you know what I found really funny, and no pun intended, sorry. That must have been it was funny because when your live first started, and again, people, you have to go watch it, but when the video first started, and I don't know who was carrying the camera at that moment, but she was panning around the place, and then she came to you two, and honestly, and a lot of people were with me on this, we thought you were statues.
Nice. Good job.
We honestly thought you were statues, and then you moved, and you go, oh my God, they're dressed as nuns. Like,
good job, y'all.
But that was awesome. But like I was saying earlier, like it amazed me that the place looks so huge, the fort area is so huge, and then you have these small rooms, and you seem to be getting there was even a couple times where when I was watching, because obviously I watched all the lives and the recordings, that it sounded like, and I don't know what you've gone through so far when it comes to your footage, but I definitely captured, like what I heard and what you captured was definitely EVPs. Definitely voices. I even heard a scream at one point.
Yes, we heard the scream. We heard the scream.
I'm trying to today.
There is a male that is trying to talk, or he is speaking, but it's like he's speaking like he's whispering it. And so I'll be listening. I'll go, that's definitely a man, but It's so faint.
Is he saying his name is Brian? Because
No.
we kept getting a Brian name. We kept getting it sounded when we said Brian, it would light up a whole bunch. And I was like, is he talking about you? Does he know you? What is happening here?
Brian is watching. Brian
That's
is watching.
right. Brian was watching.
But it's very faint. So
Right, Pam.
the next
Yeah.
step after.
Well, what I'd like to show this video, because honestly, like, now people, again, you're gonna have to turn it up. If you're wearing headphones, great. You're gonna have to turn it up. But during the live, it was really, really super loud, and but it's not so loud here, which I find puzzling, because you think it would just be as loud as it was when you were live. Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out, why it's not so loud. But anyways, so we're going to show this video. I have it set up and ready to go here. So they're in this one room, and they're doing a EVP session or an SB7, one of the two. I can't recall. So there was a loud door. Yeah, there was a loud door that slammed from another room. And now, just to confirm, and I confirmed it with them, and it was obviously confirmed in the video as well, that everybody that was there was in the same room. There was nobody else there. So they were by themselves. So hopefully I have it in the right spot. And if I don't, give me shit, and I'll put it back to the right spot.
Just give me shit anyway.
Yeah, just give me shit anyways.
All right.
No, it was after this, I believe.
Well, I'm going to move this back a little bit. This will not hurt you. It is strictly for you to be able to manipulate words that are coming through the radio.
No, that wasn't it, was
so
it?
You can speak with us.
No, because we
You
react.
can also just use it for energy if you would like to show yourself to us. That would be amazing. Can we see you?
Because it kept falling off my head.
Should be right here. He had it right there too.
In this, did you tell of our experiences in this area? Not, there wasn't very many in the living area.
It was this was where the battery thing happened.
Yeah.
And
we would be sitting on the couch, and we would see lights, like on the ceiling.
Yes, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, and we saw one shoot through that window in that bedroom.
We sure did. That was kind of freaky.
I thought I heard a voice.
Did I go past it?
Did you hear what they said?
No, but I'm just marking it.
I think maybe you did.
What was that?
No,
there it is.
right there.
No.
There's nothing burning that bright anymore. It's just
That was it,
embers.
right
No
there.
way. Nothing moved either.
What was that? Was a big bang.
All four of us sitting right there. What's that big stuff? I thought it was the recorder.
In this, did you tell of our experiences in this area? Not, there wasn't very many in the living
No,
area.
it was this was where the battery thing happened.
Yeah.
And
we would be sitting on the couch, and we would see lights, like on the ceiling.
yes, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah,
about
and
that.
we saw one shoot through that window in that bedroom.
We sure did. That was kind of freaky.
I thought I heard a voice come through.
Did you hear what they said?
No, but I'm just marking it for the reason.
What
the
was
heck
that?
was
Yeah,
that?
that's it there. That was it there.
No.
No.
So,
There's nothing burning that bright
I want
anymore.
people
It's
to go
just
back and
embers.
listen
No
to
way.
this.
Nothing moved
Because this was at the,
That was a
bang.
bang.
it was around the
I'm gonna
30, 25 mark. It was a loud bang. And this is the problem with this. It's very hard to hear through the StreamYard. But go back and watch the video, because it is very, very loud. And whatever it was, to me, I think it was a door. And I think this is one of your best pieces of evidence that you captured during this investigation.
Yeah. That on camera. Yeah.
Yeah, on camera. Now, there were other things that happened that I definitely heard voices, and it wasn't any of you four that were there.
Right.
There were male voices. So you've definitely had a very, very interesting investigation. What I love is the fact that what I loved about yours is the fact that you guys were here in Claiborne. You didn't capture a lot. You didn't capture a lot in Claiborne, but here you captured a lot more than you did at Claiborne. And that's what I love. That's what I love. And And you know what? Go back to that again. It's around the 30-25 mark, and you'll hear that door slam. And it's a heavy, heavy slam.
All
Now,
those doors are heavy.
yeah. So, and big.
Mhm.
And big for that matter, right?
Yes.
So it was great. And I thought it was interesting that you had a black cat following you around. I thought that was a little bit
Ash.
weird.
His name is Ash.
Yeah. But
We did find out that it was their cat.
Yeah.
He's the Goliad cat. Apparently, he lives at Presidio La Bahia. So we had a house guest, and the black thing was kind of cool. There were actually a couple of times where we heard bells, and we ran outside to open the door, and the cat was rubbing all over the bells we had left outside for the ghosts and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So what was it about the Presidio that you guys decided, you know what, this is the place we're going to do for Global Ghost Hunt? How did you come to that decision? Because I'll be honest, there's a lot of teams out there that, or even part of the Global Ghost Hunt, that were struggling to decide where they're going to investigate. So what was it about this place that made you decide this is our place?
Go ahead.
I think it was because we had good experience the second time and not so good a first time. So we wanted to see if there was like a happy medium or a better, maybe because they knew us better, there would be more the third time. And we felt comfortable there. We didn't feel intimidated or nervous in any way. So that was also another thing. And we brought 2 people with us who had never gone. So so that's kind of a little safety factor for us, at least.
Yeah, and what were their comments at the end of all of it?
Oh my God!
What were they thinking?
Even before Global Ghost Hunt, the girl Xandra that I've only met her like twice. Super cool chick though. She had a blast. She was loving it.
She had the best time. Oh my God, what's going on? What is happening? What is that noise? What is that?
Really, I cannot believe this all and all stuff going on.
Yeah, she was entertaining as all get out. We had a great time with her. She is definitely going to come back with us. So is Elena. That's her niece, and she is wonderful. She's gone with us before,
and she's had paranormal experiences.
Both of them
whole life
have had. Actually, Xandra lived in a haunted house in college. And I'm not going to tell her story, but the bottom line is she had to get out of the lease because it was that horribly haunted. It was extremely haunted.
Wow.
So
wow.
She's very susceptible to that as well. So, if you guys watch the video, you'll see it seemed like somebody kind of attached themselves to her for a little while there. So that was kind of neat to have somebody who also has had experiences on their own to be open enough to have experiences with us.
Yeah. So, and with saying that, you brought 2 girls on that are obviously have been they're fairly new to the paranormal, or they've never experienced something like that.
Investigating, yes.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. What would be, because you guys have been doing this for a while. You've been doing it for a while. You got a lot of videos out. You've been to a lot of location. What would you say to somebody that's new to the industry? What advice would you give them? Melissa, we'll start with you on this one.
Like,
what advice would you give what advice would you give somebody that wants to get in the industry?
Well, my advice is do it because you really want to do it and you're interested in it. Don't do it just because you think it might do you some good. And the other thing is just to be aware of not only your surroundings, but your body. What are you all of a sudden feeling a weird emotion? Are you feeling a pain somewhere that you shouldn't be? Are you happy, sad? Just kind of make them aware to let us know, hey, if you hear anything, feel anything, see anything, let us know and we'll discuss it and we'll go from there. Just be open. Be open.
And Heidi, what would your advice be to somebody that's new that says, you know what, Heidi, I'm really interested in getting into this. How do I get started?
Honestly, persistence is key. You're not always, like we just talked about, you're not always going to get anything on camera or have activity that day. It's not always the same thing. So if you've gone to a few locations and there's not enough, maybe you're not capturing, maybe you don't have the right equipment. Maybe you're not listening with headphones, or maybe there's just nothing else. try something a little bit out of the box. If we started out going to a lot of cemeteries, then we started going to abandoned places, then the hotel. So we started branching out. So
don't
something,
start big. Don't go to Waverly Hills.
Yeah, don't.
Go, baby steps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think persistence is key. I think that just because you might not get a response once or twice or even 5 times doesn't mean that you're not going to get a response. Maybe they are responding. You're just not
in the
getting
moment.
it at the time. So persistence
and patience.
Go back to places. We've been back to places numerous times.
Several times.
Just to keep communicating or to, we'll hear something on the recorder and we'll go back.
We got to go back.
Because they said this and we'll talk about whatever that is. So, like she said, also be open, listen with your body, with your mind, with your heart, listen.
Yeah, I completely agree. And to answer Pam's question, their investigation was on October 21st. And you can go over to the YouTube channel on for Global Ghost Hunt, and you will find the video there. It was October 21st at 10 p.m. was their investigation, and that is the Eastern time, by the way. So just to answer that. So you talked a little bit about equipment, and I know I've asked you this question in the past, but if you had a choice, if you were reaching for your bag for your favorite piece of equipment, what would that be and why?
Recorder.
Recorder, Melissa?
Yeah, it would be definitely the recorder. I grabbed the recorder. I grabbed the SB7, and
I like the EMF, the one that we used on the last investigation. I like that.
You like?
And I like the
K2?
recorder. I think the recorder is honestly one of my favorites too.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? It's hard for me because I'm pretty basic, right? So I like obviously the camera, and I know people say camera, but I really like obviously I love my SB7, and the SB7 is mine. I've captured so much with the SB7, and the recorder is definitely one for me as well.
Right.
I think once you capture something with your recorder, there's no denying.
Right.
As you guys can hear, my dog is going a little bit crazy out there.
I hear.
And it's funny because he's funny. He's really, really super funny because he's got times that he goes out, and I don't know what it is with dogs, but
I know
he knows his time. And even if I take him out before the time that he normally goes out, he wants to go out at that time.
That's right. That's right.
It's just like, I love him to death, but he's a pain in the bum too. So,
of course.
Yeah.
Okay. But, do you want to hear the story about after our investigation that you had?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot.
I
yeah.
did. Okay.
I'm all over the place today.
Shit. We said we were going to give you shit. Here we go.
Okay. That's nice.
So we had packed everything up in the van, and we're like, okay,
we realized we hadn't had any still shots in our costumes, and we were considering changing back into the nun outfits.
So, but we'd already packed everything up, so we're like, forget it. But we are going to go put our keys away and just kind of look at the museum and go to the chapel, because chapel was a big thing. I wanted some B-roll. So we get ready to walk into put our keys
in the office.
Office, and here comes, they're the cutest things too. 2 little nuns get out of the car
and walk right in front of us.
Right in front of us, and go in and go to the chapel.
We were like,
I was like, oh, thank God we're not in our costumes.
We're good, because we were considering our costumes, and I don't think that would have gone well. So we gave our keys back
again when they were leaving, because we all left at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have loved to been there and seen that. What do you think they would have done if they saw you in your?
I don't.
Do you think they would have thought you were real?
I don't know. I don't know if were we wearing it correctly? I was hoping that we were. We looked it up online. We didn't know what we were doing. So
yeah, we had to say our acceptance, please accept what we're about to do speech to the gods before we did that.
We did our little prayer, and don't mean to disrespect. Sorry.
Please, everybody.
Yeah. So your overall experience for the whole night doing the investigation, what's your overall experience? What are your thoughts by the time the investigation was done? What did you feel walking away? What was your first thought?
That
Heidi?
everybody needs to do this. Everybody needs to do this. All paranormal teams should come and do this with us. It is so much fun. We have a blast. We are so amped up. We didn't go to bed till almost 2 o'clock in the day morning. We could not. We were like ding, 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 ding. It was awesome.
Yeah.
After an investigation, I don't think I've ever left a place not feeling well unless I was still kind of sick from the emotions I had
Right.
At the location. But it's always a positive experience for me, no matter if you get evidence or you don't.
Right. We always have fun doing it.
Yeah.
Mm,
You
yeah.
went out to do something that you enjoy, you should enjoy it.
Exactly.
Exactly. Here's a question from Pam. Ladies, what are your thoughts on the XS or SLS? And do you use a camera for pictures or do you take pictures during your investigation?
We do sometimes use a camera. A lot of times we use our phone because it's right there. We do take pictures during our investigations on a normal basis.
On a normal basis.
We
Not
do.
all the time.
But we do usually snap some. But
Heidi does. Maybe
I
I'm not
do.
paying attention to what she
Heidi
does.
does.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on the SLS?
What do you think?
I don't use the SLS. I'm not saying that I wouldn't. I see a lot of false positives with it. But again, it's like any other paranormal tool. Not everything is a true reading. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it's really just a personal opinion on that.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah. I mean,
I find the biggest. I don't use it personally. I'm not a fan of it, to be honest. But I find that most of the people that I've watched in the past on their videos are using it improperly. And what I mean by that, the SLS, I'm not talking about Ghost Tube, because Ghost Tube SLS is, be honest, is crap. It's not real. It's fake. And I will say that till the end of time. And I think it's crap. But the actual SLS that people are walking around with the tablet and the Connect, what people fail to do is, and I see it all the time, is it's supposed to be stationary. It's not supposed to be moved around. The problem is, again, it's that false positive thing that you can be pointing it at a picture, and if there's a person in that picture, you're going to get an outline of that stick figure. I've seen it when somebody's pointed at a chair.
Yes.
Like, I'm not talking about a chair with the fabric backing. I'm talking about a normal chair.
Yeah.
And I've seen it too often, and I want to go through the street and go, "You're using it wrong," because really, you're supposed to be, like, if you're going to set it up in an area, one, it should be an area where there's nothing around, so it should be a blank wall.
Right.
Or two, pointing it down the hallway and making sure there's nothing down the hallway that's
right, like a mirror,
an mirror on your SLS. Right. But I would say 95% of people are using it improperly. And if they see something and there's a chair there, there's a piano there, there's a table there, right, I would say more than likely that it's going to be, that's what it is.
Right.
But if there's a blank wall,
right,
sure,
or nothing down the hallway, and it's stationary, there's a possibility. There is a possibility. Sure, there is. I'm just not big into that. For me personally, I don't use it. I don't think I would ever. I don't think I would ever use it. So
no, we haven't.
But
we've been with teams who have used it before, but we have not.
Yeah. And during the investigation I've taken pictures. I think we all have during investigation. I've captured stuff on camera, and I captured something at Sewell's Bridge, and I've shown people in the past I captured what looks like to be a black shadow laying on a rock, just lounging around. And
Nice.
it's actually, yeah, it's actually,
Chilling out.
I'll send you that picture. It's actually
Yeah.
really super cool. And I've actually put a circle around it right in the center. You can actually see the spirit lying down on a rock.
That is super cool.
Yeah, so that was cool. But at the end of the day, the SLS have no interest whatsoever.
Yeah, us either.
Yeah, it's great for other people if you want to use it.
I mean,
I
it's
think-
personal, you know.
I think mainly it's I think really, and some people might disagree with this, I think it's an entertainment tool.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
Yeah. So anyhow, so last question before we go off, and you know our famous question, but people that are meeting you for the very first time don't know this answer. So if I were to give you a bag full of money and you could go anywhere in the world to investigate a location, where would that location be and why? Heidi?
Heidi first.
Well, the only reason why I said that because Melissa's going, oh God.
I'm doing the same thing. I'm just being quiet about it.
There's so much out there. Are you kidding me?
I know it's very cliche. Well, let me be very honest with you. My number one answer is probably going to shock people, but it would be to go to Skinwalker Ranch in Utah. That would be the first place that I would want to go. If there is paranormal evidence or also maybe some alien activity, stuff like that. But anyway, if it was not for that, we love you too, Pam. Thank you. If it was not for that, then I would probably, as cliche as it sounds, I want to go to the Stanley Hotel. I just do.
Oh, there you go.
I
Yeah,
do.
And you know what? I have an opportunity to go to the Stanley Hotel. I have a buddy that lives in Denver, and he lives literally 10 minutes away from that hotel.
Oh,
And
let's
yeah, so he says anytime you come down, you're there. So this is what I'm going to propose. If I get a date early enough, like if I get a date that's far enough along,
yes.
like further down the road,
He's like, yeah.
and I'm going to say, okay, I haven't even asked yet the question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll wait.
I'll reach out to you two and say, are you interested in coming? And then we could all do an investigation together. How does that sound?
Yes. For sure. Yes.
Okay. So I'll
I
reach
mean,
out.
yeah.
I'll reach out to him and say, listen, can you get us something down the road? And then, you know, it could be a year down the road, but
Right.
at the end of the day, the Stanley Hotel is definitely a place where it's on a lot of people's bucket list. So, but great answer. Okay, Melissa, you've had some time to think about this.
I've had a few minutes.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is yours?
So for a while, it would have been Waverly Hills.
Okay.
And it's still on my bucket list.
Okay.
But I can go anywhere I want to go. I think I would really go into Transylvania and do some investigating on those grounds.
Yeah.
And then I
That would
also
be
want to go
fun.
to Alcatraz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you had $24,000.
That's right.
For
For a mere $24,000.
That's insane.
It's $24,000 to investigate a night there.
That's no.
So you and 24,000 of your friends
Right.
will be going.
We still have to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
What
now,
about you?
Oh, my list is long.
Top two.
Yeah.
But my top one is Suicide Forest in Japan.
You've talked about
I
that as
have
well.
talked about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's
So
so
that is my
many-
top one. And then my
Oh,
second
sorry,
one
Yeah,
is and some people might not know this location, but there's a city outside of Cairo in Egypt called the Dead City, and people live in tombs.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That is kind of cool.
And they're these people are, and what's creepy is the dead bodies are still in the tombs, and these
Yeah.
people are living in these tombs, and it's called the Dead City, and there's 1 million people that live in this city, so 1 million people living in tombs.
That
Yeah.
cannot be sanitary.
It's like,
Not even a little bit.
Yeah. So
Yours
that
are
is my,
there.
and the place is called the Dead City.
Wow.
Yeah, I
And
think that would be interesting.
Yeah, a buddy of mine wanted to do a documentary out there, so he flew out there, and he got in a taxi and said, "I want to go to the Dead City," and the taxi driver said, "We don't go there.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
We don't go there." And he offered to pay him double to take him there, and he said, "I'll take you there, but halfway. You're gonna have to walk the rest of the way."
Wow.
They don't even go near that place. I can't even imagine the energy.
Yeah.
What's that?
I bet. She said the spirits are pissed.
off.
Well, I guess so. Yeah. I can't
even.
even imagine. Like, obviously these people are sleeping on the floors, right? Like they're dirt floors.
I hope so.
And he wanted to do a documentary there, and unfortunately never did, but he is eventually going to get out there, but they won't take him out there. They won't take people out there. It's that bad out there. So, but that is definitely second on my list. And then obviously third on my list would be the pyramids.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would
Just
be
going to
really, really
Syrian
super
would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have to say the YMCA in Miami, Arizona has really gotten up there that the AZ Pie did.
Yeah.
That looks like an incredible place to investigate. There are so many different places, but those would be my top. But Suicide Forest is on the top of my list.
I hear it. I get it.
So I can't even imagine what the energy would be like in that place.
No way.
Well, just your energy alone going in there, you'd really got to calm your shit down before you walk in there.
Yeah, but Alcatraz is up there too. As
Yeah,
Pam
buddy.
said, Pam put Alcatraz. Now you're probably going to get jealous, but Ghoul Gang, they were there in Transylvania in the summer.
Oh,
Shut up.
No, they did. They did a tour of Dracula's castle.
nice.
Yeah, they said it was crazy there. Crazy energy is crazy.
I bet.
So yeah, she even did Rosie even did a live from there.
Oh wow.
So you should go over to the Ghoul Gang page and you can check it out. It's really, really super cool. For anybody else, just go over to the Ghoul Gang page and you can check out they did a few little videos of the place. So, but
they are.
Yeah,
we're running the ghost hunters in the background. Ghost. Oh my God, global ghost hunt. I am so sorry. I'm tired. And the ladies are on right now.
The Ghoul Gang.
The Ghoul Gang is on our TV right now.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's
hilarious. But I want to thank you both for coming on today's show. It's been too long since you've been on Through the Lens. 2 years is way too long.
Agreed.
But I want people to open their eyes and open their ears, because there's going to be something coming on down the road that is going to involve these two ladies and Global Ghost Hunt. So we will talk about it in a couple of weeks. And we're excited. The Amen team's excited. They're excited. So and it's going to be starting. It's going to be starting after that. So they will be a part of Global Ghost Hunt next year. Next April, May, and I'm assuming October too. And just go over and watch their video. It was a lot of fun. And you know what? Even go back into May and watch their Claiborne video, because that was really super good too.
A lot of fun.
Again, I want to thank you for coming on today's show.
Thank you,
I
Brian.
appreciate everybody in the room. And I'm not sure if I'll be up next week. It'll probably be the following week I'll be up. But again, I want to thank everybody that came and watched Melissa and Heidi. And we'll see you either next week or the week after. So everybody have a great rest of the day. And we'll definitely see you soon.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.